to how to paint watercolours. So if you're ready, we'll get started and we'll paint this one. Hello everybody and welcome back to How to Paint Watercolours with me, Colin. Welcoming new subscribers. I'm doing another Bob Ross one. This one's called Snowfall, and I'm doing these for people who like Bob Ross paintings but for some reason can't use oil paints due to the smell or they're allergic to it. So this would be a good alternative for them. So I've just applied some masking fluid around the mountain tops just to keep them clean, and I'm just re-wetting the sky area. This is French ultramarine and burnt umber in that one, Prussian blue, French ultramarine and a touch of burnt sienna into this one, and the same mixture in this one but just less burnt sienna in it. Touch of French ultramarine and Prussian blue. I'm just going to streak this in. And being as we don't use magic white or liquid white, we have to arrive at the colours by some other method. So some of the colours won't be the same as Bob used. Now for the deeper colour, this has the burnt sienna in it, French ultramarine, Prussian blue and burnt sienna. Remember, it will dry lighter. I'm giving you the mix of the colours. As you can see them going on, you can see the shade in the colour. So when you mix them, this is the colour that you should be aiming for, and it will get you to get used to mixing colours, which we all have to do. A little bit dark around here. And then into that, just for some dark streaks, French ultramarine and burnt umber. So we might not have to lift any paint out, it's behaving itself for a change. I am trying to get these roughly in the same place as Bob put them, so that it does have the look of the original painting. Put a little more blue in here. And then we're going to let this dry. Now that the sky's dry, I've just completely removed all the masking fluid very carefully and gently so that we don't rip the paper. I'm just coming to this centre mountain here because I want to put some shading on it. This is just round the edge according to Bob's picture. And if you're enjoying these videos, please click the like button and subscribe. Subscriptions are free, and please leave a comment. It's always nice to hear from people. And into that, I've just mixed up some French ultramarine, Prussian blue and burnt sienna, just checking it for the right colour, and I'm just going to drop some shading in on here, leaving white patches for the snow. French ultramarine and burnt umber just to darken one or two areas around this ridge line, just dropping it in. Along the bottom here, just allow it to drift upwards. Very gently soften it in. As you can see, I left a deliberately bigger light patch because I knew that it was going to disappear slowly. Take some of this here, French ultramarine, Prussian blue, with some burnt umber, and I'm going to re-wet this area here on this side. And as you do all this re-wetting, and you'll learn exactly how you can build your watercolour up to have a stunning effect. and taking some of that watery colour. I really watered it down, and even that could possibly be too strong. It's just to take a slight bit of this white away. It's hardly noticeable. Just mixing some of these colours together just to darken it. French ultramarine, Prussian blue with burnt sienna or burnt umber if you haven't got burnt sienna. Just trying to add it where Bob put it on his painting. Like I said, we will try to get it to look very much like Bob's if we can. And taking some French ultramarine and burnt umber. Don't want that to be too strong either. Darkening one or two edges. This just adds variation. Very light colour here, well watered down. It's ultramarine and burnt umber, very pale. French ultramarine and Prussian blue, with just a touch, a hint of burnt umber, just to put this crack in here. French ultramarine and burnt umber. Little cracks here as well. Darker on that one at the top, I think. I'm just going to add some shadows in on here. Water just to soften it. Always softening all the time, unless you actually want the hard edges, but right at this moment in time I don't. Making this really watery. And then we're going to be glazing over that, so we're going to let that dry. Okay, your mountains have dried, they're coming along quite nicely. Okay, I'm going to re-wet the back side of this mountain. Just this side on this one. So I'm just taking some clean water and I'm brushing it over the top. I'm going to glaze some colour in. Here. A little bit more blue to that, making it very watery. So another one of them that you'll hardly see. And brush it up the back side of this. So pale, very pale. working quite quickly. Bringing some of it down into this field. Softening that slightly. And there's one or two bushes at the back here, so I'm taking some French ultramarine and burnt umber, and I'm just going to put this in like pinpricks because it will spread with my rigger brush. Just touch it, that's all you do. It's just a line of bushes. Slightly stronger at the bottom. I think there could be a little line in here. You probably won't see this. Same colour, I'm just dusting off the residue that's on the brush. Just adding little bits of variation. It all makes for an interesting painting. Interest is everything. Little clean water. And then just along the bottom of this shoreline, it's going to add a little bit more dark to it just to bring it forward slightly, just to define its edge. That's all I want to do, and we're going to let that dry. Now it comes to the background evergreen trees, just taking some of the mixed sky colours that we've put together, and I'm going to do these first, so I'm going to bring the tops out a little bit. If you find that your paper's drying out, what you can do is just run some cold water across the bottom with a big flat brush. Very simple, it's just to keep it stretched and taut. Bringing it out with a rigger brush first. Same with this one over here, I think. It's quite watery, this mixture, which means that when it dries it will be a lot paler and these trees will sit further back. Take my mop brush, wet it, pick up some paint, very gently, just touch. This is a very, very gentle touch, very gentle. And when you come to the bottom, take a damp brush and sort of soften the edge down. Don't get too much on the brush, as I have done there, I think. Always keep a check on the size of your trees. Darker at the bottom on these are slightly closer French ultramarine and burnt umber. Once again, just catch the bottom, soften in. Just allowed them to dry a bit while I answered the phone, and I'm just going to take some more Prussian blue French ultramarine, add it into there, and I'm just going to darken it with a touch of French ultramarine and burnt umber. As we slowly come forward, once again bringing the tops out with this one. It's still quite watery, but it's a bit stronger than the other one that's been put on. Do the same to this one here. It'd be alright if I could get the line straight. Just taking my mop brush, picking a bit of paint up with it, maybe a bit more Very light touch. Once again, some clean water damp brush, taking some of the colour and bringing it down the embankment. Reload the brush. Damp brush again. Just bringing one or two darker areas out. Along with the ridge line here. Damp brush once again, just soften it all in. When you're softening in, you're also manipulating the paint. Taking some Prince Ultramarine and Burnt Umber. I just want to darken some areas in this. And then we're just going to allow that to dry. Now that these trees are dry, I'm going to move over some more paint. Just a little stronger this time. Just still don't want it to be too strong. I think that will do it. Once again, taking my rigger brush, bringing the tops of these trees out. To my mop brush. Just adding some French Ultramarine and Burnt Umber just to give a slight variation. Damp brush once again, some clean water, catching the bottom and then just bringing it down. Soften off some of the edges. Adding a tiny bit of French Ultramarine and Burnt Umber. So I think that tree comes down further, so I think we'll let that dry a second. Back to this one. Prince Ultramarine and Burnt Umber just drops in. Clean water once again. Soften this down the bank. Softening the edges once again. Adding a little colour into there. And then we're going to leave all that to dry. I just want to bring this tree here further down. I think Bob's got it coming further down than I have, so we'll just retouch it in. Looks to be about there, I think. Softening it in, and we also have slightly stronger tree here. Just bring it forward slightly. And we have one just about here, which is quite strong. A little tiny one. Prince Ultramarine and Burnt Umber. We have a little tree here. Softening in once again. Then we come round to our water, taking some clean water and re-wetting the water area. And taking basically all your colours from the sky, horizontal strokes. Giving a little shadow in areas. Just allowing all this to soften together. Just where that bank is, I'm just going to drop a little shadow in. French Ultramarine and Burnt Umber. Maybe just a little one here and there. Do a little reflection. Tiny touch of reflections here. Now we're going to let all that dry and then we can finish this off.